Welcome to Trivia Clips. Think you know everything about the King of Pop? This is part 1 of the Michael Jackson True or False Challenge. You have 5 seconds to answer each one, true or false. Let's test how deep your MJ knowledge really goes. 1. Michael Jackson was born in 1965. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, false. Michael was born on August 29, 1958, in Gary, Indiana. He was the 8th of 10 Jackson children. His musical talent showed very early in life. He started performing with his brothers in the Jackson 5. By age 11, he was already signed to Motown. 1958 marked the birth of a global icon. 2. Thriller is the best-selling album of all time. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. Thriller has sold over 70 million copies worldwide. It broke records after its release in 1982. The album won 8 Grammy Awards in one night. Hits like Beat It and Billie Jean fueled its success. Its music video changed the industry forever. No album has surpassed its total sales to date. 3. Michael Jackson's nickname was the Piano Man. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, false. The Piano Man is Billy Joel's nickname. Michael's most famous nickname was the King of Pop. He earned it for redefining pop music and performance. Other nicknames included MJ and the Gloved One. He was rarely associated with playing piano publicly. His titles reflected his massive global influence. 4. Michael first performed the moonwalk in 1983. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, true. He debuted the move on the Motown 25 TV special. It happened during a performance of Billie Jean. The crowd went wild as he glided backwards smoothly. The moonwalk instantly became his signature dance. Michael said he learned it from street dancers. It's now one of the most iconic moves in history. 5. The Jackson 5 was signed to Motown Records. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer. True. Motown signed the group in 1968. Their debut single, I Want You Back, hit number 1. The group had 4 consecutive #1 hits after that. Motown molded their early image and sound. Michael was the standout voice of the group. Their success launched his solo career. 6. Michael Jackson wrote, I Will Always Love You. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, false. That song was written by Dolly Parton in 1973. Whitney Houston famously covered it in 1992. Michael had no connection to writing it. He did write many of his own hits, though. Billie Jean and Beat It were his creations, but not I Will Always Love You. 7. Michael owned the rights to the Beatles' music catalog. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, true. In 1985, he bought ATV Music Publishing. It included over 250 Beatles songs. He paid $47.5 million for the catalog. Paul McCartney had once advised him to invest in music rights. This caused tension between them afterward. Michael later merged it with Sony, keeping partial control. 8. Smooth Criminal was originally recorded in Spanish. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, false. The song was written and recorded in English. However, it was later released in multiple versions. There was even a 2006 Spanish remix, Al Capone. But the original 1987 release was all in English. It appeared on the Bad album. The song's video featured gravity-defying moves. 9. Michael's pet chimpanzee was named Bubbles. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer. True Bubbles was adopted by Michael in the 1980s. He became a famous part of MJ's image. Bubbles toured with him and lived at Neverland Ranch. He even attended studio sessions. Eventually, Bubbles was moved to a sanctuary. Michael saw him as family, not just a pet. End of part 1. Still moonwalking with us? Then don't stop now. Part 2 has even more thrilling facts ahead. Let's see if you can beat it with a perfect score. Welcome to the Michael Jackson True or False Challenge. In this first part, we dive into the origins and rise of the King of Pop. How well do you know his early career, legendary moves, and iconic moments? Let's begin and see how deep your MJ knowledge goes. 1. Michael Jackson wrote, "We Are the World" completely solo. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, false. "We Are the World" was co-written with Lionel Richie in 1985. It became an anthem for global unity and charity. The track was recorded by USA for Africa to fight famine. Quincy Jones produced the song with massive star power. The session included artists like Stevie Wonder and Bruce Springsteen. Jackson's chorus and hook made it unforgettable. 2. Michael Jackson's first solo album was Thriller. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, false. His first solo album was Got to Be There, 1972. It came out while he was still in the Jackson 5. Thriller was actually his 6th solo studio album. Released in 1982, Thriller became the best-selling album of all time. But Jackson had years of solo work before that. His solo journey started way earlier than many realize. 3. The moonwalk dance was invented by Michael Jackson. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, false. Michael popularized the move, but he didn't invent it. Dancers like Cab Calloway and Jeffrey Daniel performed it before. Michael saw it and made it iconic during a 1983 Motown special. When he glided backward, the world was stunned. The moonwalk became instantly tied to his persona. It remains one of the most legendary dance moves ever. 4. Michael Jackson owned the rights to the Beatles' music. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, true. In 1985, Michael purchased ATV Music Publishing for $47.5 million. This catalog included many of the Beatles' biggest hits. Paul McCartney once showed MJ the value of publishing rights. Ironically, Michael outbid Paul for the rights. They remained friends for a while afterward, but it caused tension. It was one of the savviest business moves in music history. 5. Michael Jackson's middle name was Joseph. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, true. His full name was Michael Joseph Jackson. He was born on August 29, 1958, in Gary, Indiana. He was the 8th of 10 Jackson siblings. The Jackson family was deeply musical and religious. Joseph, his father, managed the Jackson 5's early career. Michael inherited both talent and ambition from his roots. 6. Thriller was the first music video aired on MTV by a black artist. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, false. Billie Jean was actually the first MJ video played on MTV. MTV initially resisted playing black artists, but Jackson's popularity forced them to change. Billie Jean opened the door for diversity on the network. Then, Thriller took things to a cinematic level. MTV and MJ changed the music video landscape forever. 7. Michael Jackson once tried to buy Marvel Comics. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, true. In the late 1990s, MJ reportedly wanted to buy Marvel. He was especially interested in playing Spider-Man in a film. He even spoke with Stan Lee about the idea. The plan never came to life, but it was real. Jackson was a fan of superheroes and fantasy worlds. He always thought big, even outside of music. End of part 1. How many did you get right? You're just getting started. The next part explores his deeper legacy, controversies, and late career genius. Let's keep the challenge going. Part 2 is where it gets serious. See you there? Welcome back to part 2 of the Michael Jackson True or False Challenge. In this round, we go deeper into his later career, business moves, and lasting cultural impact. Think you've got what it takes to ace it? Let's begin. 9. Michael Jackson was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. He was first inducted in 1997 with the Jackson 5, then again in 2001 as a solo artist. This rare double honor is shared by very few. It recognized his influence both as a child star and solo icon. MJ's contributions crossed genres, family, generations, and borders. He truly changed the face of modern music. 10th. His album Dangerous sold more copies than Thriller. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. False. Thriller remains the best-selling album of all time. It's estimated to have sold over 70 million copies. Dangerous was a huge hit but didn't surpass it. Released in 1991, it featured Black or White and Remember the Time. It marked his first album without Quincy Jones. Still, Thriller remains untouchable in numbers and impact. 11. Michael Jackson once held a patent for anti-gravity shoes. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. MJ co-patented special shoes for his Smooth Criminal lean. The shoes locked into the floor, allowing a gravity-defying move. The trick amazed fans and became part of his signature. He filed the patent in 1993 with his choreographers. It's a rare case of music meets engineering genius. His innovation extended far beyond vocals and dancing. 12. Earth Song was never released as a single in the U.S. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. Despite global success, Earth Song wasn't released as a U.S. single. It topped charts in Europe, especially in the U.K. The song is one of MJ's most emotional and environmental pieces. Its video features powerful footage of war and deforestation. Jackson was passionate about global issues. The track remains a fan favorite for its message. 13. Michael Jackson's chimpanzee was named Bubbles. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. Bubbles became one of MJ's most famous companions. He often traveled with Michael and was even on tour. The media loved reporting on their unusual bond. Eventually, Bubbles was moved to a sanctuary. Michael said he considered him like family. The story became part of MJ's eccentric legend. 14. The video for Scream was the most expensive ever made at the time. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. Scream cost around $7 million to produce in 1995. It featured his sister Janet in a futuristic setting. The video was nominated for several MTV awards. Its black and white style matched the track's edgy vibe. It set a new standard for music video production. MJ always pushed visual boundaries in pop music. 15. MJ performed at the Super Bowl halftime show twice. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. False. He only performed once, Super Bowl 27 in 1993. That performance revolutionized the halftime show forever. He opened standing silent for over 90 seconds to roaring applause. then delivered Jam, Billie Jean, and Heal the World. It drew one of the highest ratings in Super Bowl history. MJ set the new standard for halftime spectacle. End of part 2. You've completed the ultimate MJ True or False challenge. Whether you nailed it or learned something new, thank you for joining. For more epic music quizzes, like, comment, and subscribe. Long live the King of Pop. See you in the next round of trivia.